Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here. So, Forza Motorsports Update 2.0 is here. Now, the gameplay that you are watching have all been recorded in the last couple of days, right from the moment I actually downloaded the new update. So, in today's video, I'm just going to talk about my experience with Forza Motorsport Update 2.0 so far, things I've noticed that perhaps some of you didn't, as well as all the fixes in their patch notes, which I have a lot to say, and just my overall thoughts. Before I begin, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like this video as it does help me out a lot. And if you are new to my channel and want to stay up to date with everything Forza related, be sure to subscribe. Alright, so the first thing that I immediately noticed, by the way I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, is that the menu screen would flash, blink or flicker a couple of times whenever I would browse the main menu. To me, this was pretty annoying because this is supposed to be an elegant racing game, not some EDM nightclub. Now, I don't know if this is just some sort of visual or graphical bug that snuck by for Update 2, as previously this never happened. The only time my screen would actually flash was when the game was successfully saving something. You can see here after I just purchased the car, the game is saving, and once the screen flashed, I knew my game progress would have been saved up to that point. So my wild theory here, and I could be wrong though, but I think that the flicker is actually the game saving itself. So instead of my game progression only being saved at certain points like purchasing a car or after equipping upgrades or maybe even painting a vehicle to whatever it was previously, the game is now frequently saving in the background so that if the game soft locks or ever crashes, my game progression will never be lost. Which then leads me to the Builders Cup. Now, if you guys have watched my previous Forza Motorsport video, you will know that I pretty much gave up on career mode and just accepted the fact that I wasn't going to get this particular reward car, as after a few races, my game would soft lock or fail to retrieve server information, which would then lead me to having to pretty much repeat the same races or even the entire series that I had just completed. And what was entirely baffling to me was that for a AAA studio with over 20 years of experience, they couldn't even execute fundamental features of a video game properly, and to me, there's just no excuse for that. However, with Update 2.0, after many races in the Track Tour series, as that's the one I had the most issues with, I can actually say from my personal experience that I haven't experienced any soft locks or infinite loading screens, which is quite relieving. I even tried to quick upgrade my car before entering another series event, changing my fuel load and tire compound before a race, and everything seemed to be working. I also got my progression restored, so after I completed my first Builders Cup race, my driver level jumped from 216 to 242. Now what happened here was that my initial driver level after Update 2.0 was incorrect due to all the times my game soft locked, and whenever I would restart the game, although my car level, car XP and car points would actually save, my driver level however didn't. It would always revert me back to when the game last saved. So after finishing my first race, my driver level has now been adjusted back to what it actually is, which is one of the issues Turn 10 addressed. Another small detail that I noticed within the Builders Cup is that the rolling start animation prior to Update 2 would only be at 30 frames per second, but now it's been upgraded to 60, and I know this is small, but it does make the transition visually more satisfying. Now let's move on to the new track that was released, Yas Marina, the only new content, at least at the time of me making this video, that I can actually play from the get-go. Look, to me, visually speaking, the track is fine. It looks great both during the day and night time, but my biggest problem is of course the AI. The gameplay you are watching right now, these AI are all set at the highest difficulty and some of their lines are horrendous. I mean, they seriously can't race against each other in certain parts of the track, especially during the first 2 laps. I mean, it's horrible. I don't know who else is going to say this, but This new Forza Motorsport literally has the worst AIs or drive avatars I've ever seen in a Forza Motorsport game. It's seriously not fun to race against, and what makes it worse is that prior to launch, Turn 10 gave this whole spiel about the new machine AI learning and that the new AI can make these mistakes. However, these scenarios are not scripted. Instead, they will make natural mistakes like real humans do, such as braking too late or going wide or even going off track. But I'm not buying it. I did a handful of these races at Yas Marina and the race felt nothing but scripted. It's always the same morons braking too late or early around the same corner in every race. Like, how am I supposed to get better as a driver should I decide to not race in multiplayer when even when I set the AI to the highest difficulty, the grid races like this? No, I should be expecting all 23 drivatars to be elite drivers like a Formula 1 race. I don't know. I know Yas Marina isn't the only track where the AIs are garbage. It's pretty much every track in Forza Motorsport, and Turn 10 really needs to address this. And speaking of things that needed to be addressed, before Update 2 went live, Turn 10 informed us on their latest Forza Monthly livestream that there will be over 200 bugs and glitches that they were going to resolve, and they even gave us a preview over on their official Forza website of the first 26 issues that they were going to address, along with stating that the full patch notes will be released once the update actually goes live. Now, after Update 2 went live, we did in fact get the full patch notes, but only 44 issues were detailed, and 8 of them were written as various issues addressed to whatever the subheading was, which leaves us with only 36 issues that we actually know about that was fixed. I mean, where's the remaining 160 bugs and glitches? Why aren't they being detailed as well? Because I'm sure many, including myself, actually want to know what's been addressed and what hasn't. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Saying various doesn't cover them because not all players are going to experience the same issues, right? Let's be honest, there's still going to be problems we will face in Update 2, and for example, you may experience a particular bug while I may not, and from my perspective, perhaps the bug I'm no longer experiencing, I might think, oh, this bug must have just fell into the various issues addressed category, while you may still experience it, and therefore it's an issue that just wasn't addressed. I always say transparency is incredibly important, especially right now for Turn 10, and to me, when I read various, it seems like they're hiding many of the issues that they may have addressed. Maybe those issues were fixed, but they just weren't tested extensively enough to actually be specified in case it actually still is an issue, like drivatar liveries now showing up in free play, but at low resolutions. Maybe there wasn't actually 200 bugs that were being fixed for Update 2. I don't know. It also shows a lack of accountability as well, because if a fix has been stated, like the 2018 Porsche 718 Cayman GTS Sport, where the roll cage visual upgrade option that would actually remove the roof of the car when viewed in first person, and the patch rolls out and it's not fixed, as Nick from AR12 Gaming showed in his video, then Turn 10 would take full accountability for not issuing that fix properly. You know, when there's so many things that were said leading up to the launch of this title, what was being sold to us, to what the game actually turned out to be, which I'm sure disappointed many, including myself, who were excited about this game. At this point, transparency and honesty is important, especially if Turn 10 wants to rebuild their reputation, because right now, as a consumer, I kind of don't know what to believe right now. But look, I am glad I can play career mode again without losing my progression, which was by far the biggest thing for me, and a lot of other issues have seemed to have given many players a much better experience in motorsport, including myself. I still think though that Forza Motorsport has a long way to go before it becomes the Forza racing game it could be. But anyways, what have your experiences and thoughts been for Update 2 thus far? I do read all of your comments, guys, and if you guys did enjoy today's video, remember to smash the thumbs up button, and if you are new, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.